That was also one of the cool things about being on that tour is the lineup of artists that Taylor had. Such good people, like genuinely really cool people. So when we'd be backstage, all of our trailers are in the same area, just being able to run into each other constantly and like catch up. I feel like it finally fit into the world of what this album is, and I personally love 7-inch vinyls. I feel like we've put out one before and it just means a lot to me, so I was excited to kind of pair it with Risk as the first introduction into the album and kind of tying in this song that I'm really excited to put out after all this time. I mean, the song is pretty like on the nose, delusional. Like there's something really manic and kind of spirally about the feeling of falling for someone who you don't know well, but you know just enough to kind of project an entire future. And I wrote the song with my dear friend Audrey Hobart, who's also my roommate, and so living together and being able to find pockets of time to kind of catch up and, you know, give each other every detail about our lives. This song is a product of doing that. So Aaron and I have been working together for the past like 3 years now, and he's become like family to me. I've been a huge fan of his since forever, but working with him super closely has been amazing because he's kind of been a mentor outside of just music, but just about how to be a person in the world. So I deeply love and admire him, and he was just heavily encouraging me to get my hands in there more so this time around. And it's made a huge difference for me just in the way I even think about songwriting at this point, knowing more about production than I did before, and also having had a couple years of experience being in the studio but not actually touching things as much as I did now. This album, you know, I feel lucky that I was encouraged to follow my instincts and also be met with Aaron's instincts, which are different than mine in ways that I really appreciate so much. And Audrey's involvement, you know, she and I wrote the song on our couch at home, and then when we recorded it, she came out to Long Pond and she's screaming in the background and some backing vocal stuff. So it really does feel like this kind of just family project that I feel really lucky to be able to celebrate with both of them. It was outside of LA. It was in this street that is a set street. So like none of the houses are lived in. Kind of felt haunted. The whole thing felt quite haunted, which really helped the energy of the song. Like lots of crazy. Yeah. I feel really lucky to love the people I perform with, so in that way, it's comforting to be on stage with them. I was totally sweating through the interview process for sure. I don't know what I said, and I will not be watching it because I'm scared. But I loved being able to play Risk with the band. This album was written with the tour in mind, so just having the first experience of the live arrangement was really fun. I think we're gonna continue to figure out like what we want to do with it as time goes on, but to have been able to introduce it live that way was really generous of Fallon and his team to have us on. I mean, it was Whoopi Goldberg was the guest, and it was what I expected in that, like, the concept of late night TV feels like this iconic thing, and she's such an icon, and every sentence that came out of her mouth was, honestly gave me chills. We were watching from backstage, and my friend Ari was there with, and we kind of were like welling up watching. So we were very kind of overwhelmed by how brilliant she is. So. I mean, I couldn't have ever imagined that I'd be lucky enough to be there the same night as her, but it was really cool. I just felt like so grateful to be able to listen to Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo just 30 feet away. That was, the highlight. I felt like my whole body was just like shocked, like in a state of shock, being able to absorb the vibration of their voices together. I mean, individually they're on another level, and then together they're like on another planet. It's really wild, so I just felt lucky to be up close. I mean, it's like Madame Tussauds, kind of. You're like, what in the hell is going on in here? I mean, everyone was really super, super kind, and Charlie XCX is epic. Like, her look was so amazing, and like, being up close to her spiky hair was really sick. Everyone was really, really warm. It was nice to be able to kind of just say hey to people that you listen to a lot in your headphones. I mean, it's kind of hard to pick because there's something so uniquely magical about every single one of the shows, but being able to perform together was so beyond. They just asked me to do it, and I was like, are you for real? Like, please? They were like, yes. They're the best. They're the greatest. I feel like on that tour, our crews and band like fell in love with each other. Everyone was just, we couldn't stop talking about them. And I think that was also one of the cool things about being on that tour is the lineup of artists that Taylor had. Such good people, like genuinely really cool people. So when we'd be backstage, all of our trailers are in the same area, just being able to run into each other constantly and like catch up, and it feels rare to be in spaces where you're with other like touring musicians, just because everyone's lives are so constantly all over the place, and it's at least rare for me to be able to share spaces with other artists frequently. So to spend the summer getting to hang with them was great. I think everything that they do is brilliant. I think they're the funniest people ever. I'm obsessed with their podcast. Like everything they do is, so singing with them was just actually pure fun. Oh man, I love Silk Chiffon. I guess we'll go with that because it's topical right now. But all of their albums are perfect. Like everything that they write, and they produce all their stuff. I'm just like, they're just cool. It was so similar to the songwriting process of Risk. Risk was the first one we wrote for the album, and that kind of sparked this like kind of addictive process that Audrey and I just, anytime we had a big feeling, it was an immediate like actually like scurry down the stairs to start playing and writing. And the reason I love the album so much is because it feels like the most fun I've been able to have while processing things that are like oftentimes uncomfortable or like disappointing or overwhelming or thrilling. But it was like, to do it with my best friend was so lucky because, you know, I like know how brilliant she is. I'm lucky enough to know her as well as I do, and so for us to, we used to write stories together in college. Like we would always like, you know, write in different mediums, but to bring it into this world felt just like it makes sense why people love working with their friends. It's like, okay, it's like really fun, and I think that I hope that translates when people listen to it, just that we actually had a really good time making it. And so yeah. It feels like the thesis of the album to me, and it also feels like a book, that title. And despite having, you know, written all the lyrics, it makes me want to read them all without the music at all. Like the songs are incredibly narrative driven, and we kind of took seeds of real experiences and relationships and truths in our lives, and because of our relationship, we were able to get really dramatic with it, and there was this kind of like theatrical element to a lot of the songs that felt deserving of a title that was like a little mysterious. So I am stoked about it, and I hope that, I'm like, if someone else, I'd want to know what the secret is, and I'd want to know who the us is. Funny, dramatic, and wistful. Yeah. I mean, it'll be completely different, so I'm really excited. I feel like, I'm just so excited. So I was writing the album knowing that that was coming up, so I think being able to like have that fully imagined, and Taylor's so kind to share her stage. I'm really, really thrilled. It's so trippy, and I think like everyone else, I grew up listening to the radio all the time, like listening to iHeart on the way to school every morning, and so to have my name and iHeartRadio in the same sentence ever is so wild, and I just am really, really deeply grateful for all of the support. Yeah. In my mind, it's making our tour as best as it can possibly be, making the experience for the people that are kind enough to spend their time and energy and money that way coming to see our show. I want to make them proud and happy. So that's my next goal for sure.
Thanks so much for watching. Did you like that video? You can check out more over here, and don't forget to subscribe to iHeart right here. And if you're already a longtime fan, make sure you ring the bell down below so you don't miss a single video. See you next time.